It is 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. The math worksheet has been sitting on the table for an hour. A minor mistake triggers a full-blown meltdown, and the pencil shatters. The natural adult reflex here is to address the behavior. We diagnose the explosion as a discipline issue, a lack of willpower, or a simple attitude problem that needs to be punished. But what if the slipping grades and the homework tantrums share the exact same root cause? What if we are treating a symptom while ignoring the disease? This line graph shows the accumulation of a biological deficit. Notice how it tracks exactly like compounding unpaid financial debt. That Tuesday night meltdown is a mechanical system failure, driven by an invisible, compounding sleep debt. To stop the behavioral explosions, we have to pause the discipline, ignore the bad attitude for a moment, and look under the hood at the brain's failing biological systems. The science of sleep deprivation operates on a dose-response reality. A child doesn't need to pull a dramatic all-nighter to suffer the effects. A modest, chronic gap between the sleep they need and what they actually get is enough. In 2012, researchers tested this by taking perfectly healthy school-age children and restricting their sleep by a single hour each night for 5 consecutive nights. The classroom teachers evaluating these students had absolutely no idea who was sleep-restricted and who wasn't. Yet they consistently rated the sleep-deprived children as measurably more emotionally reactive. Clinicians call this emotional lability. It is the biological inability to regulate frustration. The child's short fuse is a strict physical limitation, not a behavioral choice. This calendar grid demonstrates how the math works against them. A seemingly harmless 1-hour deficit on Monday compounds over a 5-day school week into a massive systemic shortfall. Because the debt accumulates gradually, the resulting behavioral shift is entirely invisible to parents and teachers. The child just seems to fly off the handle out of nowhere. By Friday afternoon, that child is operating with a biologically shortened fuse. An emotional explosion over a minor inconvenience is inevitable. Emotional regulation is only the first system to drop. Decades of pediatric research shows that partial sleep restriction reliably degrades attention capacity and working memory. This split comparison shows 2 states of alertness. On the right, a brain after a short night operates like a phone battery at 15%. From across the room, the screen is on and it looks entirely normal. But the moment you apply a cognitive load, like a math worksheet, the system rapidly flickers and fails entirely. Then we hit the final failure mechanism, memory consolidation. Sleep researchers have shown that slow wave and REM sleep are required to physically lock in the day's learning. This diagram illustrates memory consolidation as a nighttime office worker. While the body rests, the brain sorts and moves the day's short-term paperwork into long-term storage. A student who studies hard but cuts their sleep short is effectively firing that office worker. The information stays unfiled, making it physically inaccessible when they stare at a test the next morning. Put it all together: 0 emotional regulation, a collapsed working memory, no access to yesterday's study session. A homework meltdown is the only possible biological response. We can solve this. First, we have to teach ourselves to treat a rough morning or a bombed test purely as a data point. Check the sleep log before assuming a bad attitude. Step 1 is tracking the actual lights out to wake time for 3 days. You need to find the real sleep number, not the assumed bedtime. Step 2 is crucial. Do not chase a textbook 9-hour target overnight. Imposing a massive bedtime shift only creates immediate resistance and power struggles. Instead, move the bedtime 15 minutes earlier. Hold that target for a week, and then repeat it. Small, sustainable increments successfully close real gaps. Step 3 is protecting the final hour. Dim the lights, turn off the screens, and ban any last-minute cramming. Let the body's natural wind-down signals do their job. Sleep is the single highest leverage, absolutely free academic intervention available. By paying down the hidden debt, families can eliminate the meltdowns right at their biological source.